Good morning.
Good morning.
This is my first podcast. I'm Art Haywood, for those who don't know, in the Pennsylvania State Senate. And I'm glad to have as my very first guest, Jude Husein.
Thank you for having me, Senator.
Joining. Thank you so much. So, you were in my office as Chief of Staff for some time and then Advocacy Director, and now you're out doing some other stuff. One of the things we've seen you on the news for is being an advocate or in connection with the detention of what I understand is your brother-in-law. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So tell us more about what was happening with your brother-in-law. What's his name? What was happening with him?
Yeah, my brother-in-law is Hussein Jabarin. He lives in Northeast Philadelphia right here in the city. He's a small business owner, a father of 2 toddlers, and married to my sister, Cindy Husein. And he was in Palestine visiting his family. And last Thursday, August 12th, he was detained right on his farmland alongside a bunch of his family members with no charges pressed against him. Absolutely nothing has been pressed against him or accused of any crime. He was held in detention for about 4 days, maybe a little bit more, maybe 5 days. And here we are. He just got released, I believe, the day before yesterday.
So tell me more about why he was there. Was he visiting relatives? Does he go back and forth?
Yeah.
Why was he there in the first place?
So he goes back and forth because his entire family is back there. His parents are back there, his siblings, his nieces, his nephews. He's the only one here in America. And so he goes and he visits them with my sister and his 2 kids. They were just there. Interesting enough, my sister left the day before he was detained, and he was supposed to follow them that week. And as he was taking care of his family's farmland alongside his nephews and his brothers, the Israeli forces came and they arrested them.
Now, is he an American citizen?
He is. Yes, he is an American citizen.
Okay. So there's been some news about settlers in Israel taking farmland. I know that the American ambassador complained about it. It's been complained about internationally. Was his home one of the places where settlers were trying to take land?
Yeah, for the past year and a half, his family has been harassed, assaulted, detained. This is not the first time. They're still detained for the past year and a half from really violent Israeli settlers that are running rampant in a village. He's from a village right next to Bethlehem. It's called Tuqu. And so it's just a few miles away from Bethlehem, where his family, their livestock has been stolen from settlers. And so this is not the first time. This is quite a bit of time. So it was kind of a culmination of all of this harassment that has been occurring to his family.
There's quite a bit of news. As I say, even the U.S. ambassador was very concerned, really spoke out about the level of violence. So once you found out that he was detained, what did you do next? Like, what happened next?
So when we found out he was detained, a family member reached out to my sister Thursday afternoon, letting us know that he was detained. And so we immediately reached out to our representatives all across the federal level. Congressman Brendan Boyle's office was responsive in terms of trying to figure out what is happening, what is the situation. Throughout the weekend, he was still detained with no response whatsoever. They required a privacy release form, which unfortunately he can't sign this privacy release form. He's detained. And we were like, how are we supposed to get this form? And I went on social media Sunday morning and I posted a whole bunch of pictures letting everybody know what is happening. Who is Hussein Jabarin? He's Northeast Philadelphian that likes hanging out on his yard, talking to his neighbors with his 2 toddlers running around with him screaming, saying, don't go in the street. Like, he's a small business owner, a taxpayer here in Pennsylvania. He's represented by quite a bit representatives. And so I was demanding answers. We were demanding answers. And it caught a bit of fire on social media, where we've reached close to 1 million people here in our city, across the nation, and essentially across the globe. We even have Representative Rashida Tlaib coming from Michigan that came out and spoke up against it, as well as a whole bunch of other humanitarian activists. And honestly, really the bulk of it was just normal, everyday people that want an American citizen to come home, which is Pennsylvania. and Philadelphia, the greatest city in the nation.
Wow, that's a lot of engagement
Yeah.
of people, and it shows the power of social media. Now, how did you get some progress? Did you talk with anybody in the State Department,
Yeah.
or who were you able to talk to help actually with his ultimate release?
We spoke to anybody and everybody. The State Department knew we were contacting them. Our representatives knew we were contacting them. Local state officials knew we were contacting them. And so really the amount of advocacy, not just for me and my family, but from people in the city of Philadelphia and across the nation. I mean, they were bombarded with thousands of texts, emails, and calls. So they knew we were requesting some answers. We knew that nobody should be detained without any charges, with zero crimes committed, that they shouldn't be in detention. Not just my brother-in-law, who is a Philadelphia citizen, who's a Pennsylvania citizen proudly, but anybody shouldn't be in this situation. And so we were in contact with everybody.
Wow. So how did you find out that all this pressure was working?
Yeah. Well, he was released just randomly, right? And so with absolutely no justification of his detention, he was released. But unfortunately, members of our family have not been released. And so we know that the advocacy and the people pressure were really what happened for my brother-in-law. And we are so fortunate and we are so relieved, but also with that same sense of relief, really still understanding that there's an injustice happening with the rest of our family members detained, but also American citizens that are still detained in Israeli detention.
So when was he released? Well, do you have a sense of when it actually happened?
Sunday night he was released at about 11 p.m. their time, so about 4-ish p.m. our time here in the States. And family members sent over a video of him hugging his parents, and so really thankful. But again, he'll be staying there until the rest of our family members are released.
So he's still in on the West Bank, still in Palestine,
Yes.
to this day.
Yes.
Yes. And he plans to stay. How long does he plan to stay again?
Until they're released.
Okay, so he could be there a while.
Mm.
But you've had a very successful campaign to get him released, so that kind of effort,
Absolutely.
you've proven that the advocacy does work.
Yes, it does. Without people pressure, this would not have happened. It's not due to anything else, but as a result to people bombarding their representatives, the State Department, using social media as a tool, and letting people know that this is wrong for anybody. It is absolutely wrong.
So what do you say to those who are ordinary people who often think that they don't have influence, that there's nothing they can do? What do you say to ordinary people now, given your experience?
Yeah, I'm an ordinary person that barely has any followers on social media. I don't have millions of followers, and it was all because of one post that this happened. Hundreds of thousands of comments came tagging their representatives. You can tag your representatives. That's your piece of the pie. And so the concept of I'm ordinary, I can't do anything is just false, especially in this digital era. Even if you have 5 followers, even if you have 500 or 5,000, it does not matter. One call goes a long way because government moves at the speed of people and the urgency that people deliver to government. And so without these people, without we didn't have 1 million influencers like commenting on this. It was really ordinary people. With some of my followers have like 10 followers. And so just understanding that there's power in numbers and not in your followers, but actually letting your people know in your group chat, family, having these uncomfortable conversations is a very real thing and is the momentum to progress.
Thank you so much for being on my very first podcast. This is a tremendous story of what an individual can do and how other individuals in the community can help make a difference. It's also a testament that we can make government work.
That's right.
Even though it may not work without us, but we can make it do so.
That's right. Thank you so much for having me. I'm your first guest. I'm honored.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is our first podcast. This is hopefully not the last.
That's right.
Take care.